The University of Medicine and Dentistry of New Jersey celebrates a rich legacy of service to New Jersey and the world.
My name is Charles Dixon, Director of the Young Fathers Program here at the University of Medicine and Dentistry. The Young Fathers Program evolved initially as a pilot study here at the university. And it's really interesting, the program initially was looking at designing and identifying young fathers in the community and seeing what the really needs and really issues were, looking at young fathers. There's many stereotypes existing when we talk about young fathers in urban communities. And is it true that these young fathers really want to take and assume the responsibility, the mature responsibility of raising a child? Some of the issues that they didn't have fathers in their own personal lives. Also, they lacked economics and financial resources. So this program was able to identify what were some of the barriers, what were some of the issues existing to interfere with these young men moving forward, even though they were interested, but yet and still the barriers kind of overwhelmed them from not taking on the responsibility for raising that child. What has made the Fathers Program all these years was the fact that these young men had someone that they could come to and just talk to. Sometimes I discovered that it wasn't always finding them a job or getting them back in school, which we were able to do, but it was also able to talk to these young people, communicate with these young people, and give them a sense of self-esteem and feeling better about themselves. And I think that was a really important aspect of this program when guys come in and just to communicate with them, because in their lives, they lack the level of communication and having someone there to give them support, emotional support and guidance. And I think the Young Fathers Program over the years had been that element.
I'm Harry Carson. I used to play with the New York Giants eons ago.
Well, I think it's a fascinating story having Harry Carson involved with our program. I was wondering who could be an ideal role model for young fathers. And I never heard any bad news. As much as I like the Giants and being a Giant fan for so many years, and there's been other players, and not just with the Giants, other players through the NFL, we've always heard bad news about players. But something about Harry Carson which stuck out. And I go to my telephone, I dialed the Giant Stadium, cold. And I told him I was representing the University of Medicine and Dentistry, and the person says, hold on a second, I will connect you to the locker room. So all of a sudden, I'm in the locker room of the Giant Stadium.
You know, it's hard to say no to Charles. He's so enthusiastic, and, you know, he believes very strongly in the mission of the Young Fathers Program. And so for me, I don't know if anybody else had made the phone call. I don't know how I would have responded. But because when he made the phone call, he wasn't going to take no for an answer.
Absolutely.
And he was persistent, and he was committed. You know, I got on board, and I've been a supporter of his, a cheerleader of his, but also of the Young Fathers Program for many years now. I wanted to be involved in some way because it is essential that if you're going to eliminate poverty, ignorance in terms of not being educated, you really need to be influenced by someone who's going to be a role model, who can show you how to get things done. And that is a father. That's the role of a father. I mean, that's what I do with my kids, and that's what I'm doing now with my grandkids. It's about making your presence felt, letting children know that they are loved, but also letting them know when they're right and when they're wrong, and you know, make them accountable for whatever is going on. But also get young people to understand that they are their own little unique selves, and everybody has a talent, and you try to get you know, these young people to grow their talent.
Over the years, we've seen thousands of young fathers, thousands, 10,000 plus fathers have come in, gang members who've changed their lives, giving men new hope and new inspiration for life. Guys who were shot, almost left for dead, who comes to our program after they were stitched up through the emergency room here at the hospital and say, hey, listen, can you give me some words of encouragement that I can live? And these guys will come back and say, hey, listen, because of you all, I can live and to move and be a productive citizen. UMDNJ has been a wonderful community of services for this city, for this community. And Young Fathers has just been one of the components would help heal many of our families. So when I think of the Young Fathers program, I think of hope, I think of salvation, I think of a vision for a better future.
We celebrate the many accomplishments of UMDNJ and eagerly look forward to further achievements that lie ahead.